Thank you. Hope you all are having a good conference. I didn't realize they were going to have me in the big room today, so yay me, I guess. Anyway, for those that don't know me, I am Trip Corbin. I'm a business development manager for SAM, which is Surveying and Mapping. I've been with the company now for about 8 months, but have 25, 28, I don't know, years in the geospatial industry. Y'all may have seen me posting on the NC GIS listserv. I've taught GIS classes out at NC State's ITRI Center, written a few ArcGIS Pro books, ERISA past president, and so on. So been around the block for a while. Not used to really standing up here at a podium to talk. I like to move, so this is kind of weird, but we'll make it happen. For those that don't know what SAM is, we are one of the largest geospatial solutions providers out there. We are an Esri business partner, so I just actually got back from the Esri Business Partner Conference yesterday, so I was in California at this time. Well, I guess I was actually in the air this time yesterday, but we're also the second largest Trimble user out there, which really is kind of cool because what happens is Trimble comes to us a lot of times when they're having things that they want to test. So we get firsthand expertise and we work with that, tell them what is good and what's bad. And we have a pretty big presence here in the Southeast. We have 2 offices here in North Carolina, 4 down in Georgia, where I'm from, and then 1 in South Carolina. So pretty big coverage. As far as services go, we do land surveying, GIS. You can read the thing. That's enough of a sales pitch. If you want to learn more, come to our booth. So what's the importance of an elevator pitch? Why do we care about this? I don't know about y'all, but how many times do y'all get asked, what do you do? And you sit there and you have to stop and think and you get tongue-tied and you may say something like, we do things like Google Earth but on steroids, or I make maps, or I do things on the computer. Whatever it is, you give this quick knee-jerk response that really doesn't describe what you do, that doesn't do full justice to the skills and capabilities as GIS folks that we're bringing to the table. And that's not good for you. That's not good for us as a profession. It doesn't do us any good when we act like that. We need to have a good, solid elevator pitch that really describes what we do, why it's important, because you never get a second chance to make that first impression, right? So you want to take time to put one of these together. So what is one? What is an elevator pitch, right? So the idea here is that you have a small window, 1 to 3 minutes, to try to tell somebody what you do, who you are, and why what you're doing is important. The idea is basically you get on an elevator with somebody and you have that short window till you or they get off to make an impression. That's what we're talking about. So what should I put in this elevator pitch? Well, there are 3 main goals. First, establish credibility. Why should they listen to you? Next, make the audience curious. Why is the thing you do important? Why should they care? And then lastly, make them want to talk to you again. Make them be excited when you send them a meeting request, a Zoom request, or a phone call, or a text message, or however you want to communicate, that they get excited about that potential. That, hey, that was neat. I want to learn more about it. I mean, I'll tell you right now, if you want to get my attention, talk about old Mustangs. I'm restoring a 67 Mustang right now. I'll talk to you all day long about it. So that's what you want to grab their attention. So how do you go about doing that? Well, first off, how do you establish that credibility? How do people know when you're talking to them that you're somebody they ought to listen to, that you have some knowledge that's going to be important to them, right? Obviously, so to do that, the first thing you do is tell them your name. Who are you? Hey, my name is Trip Corbin. Great, Trip. Why do I care about that now? That's a wonderful name, kind of cool. At least I think so. But, then your title. Yeah, I'm the business development manager at SAM. Okay, that's wonderful. You're a sales guy. Everybody loves to talk to sales guys. Well, then I might want to add something like, I am a GIS certified professional with over 20 years of experience working in the field. I've helped institutions like yours solve their problems. Now, I can try to mention whatever, maybe some clients that I've worked with. I've worked with worked with Jackson County, Georgia to help them migrate to ArcGIS Pro. Maybe I know that's something that institution's interested in. Right? So mention some clients or some projects you've worked with based on the audience you're talking to. If I'm going in to talk to a county commissioner and I know he has no idea what ArcGIS is, telling him I helped a county migrate to ArcPro is not going to mean anything to him. But I would say, I helped a county update their 911 for better response times. That's something that's going to mean something to them, right? So make sure you're tailoring that pitch to the audience you're working for. And I've already given you some examples, so I'm not going to read this one off the slide again, but you get kind of that idea of what we're looking for. The next thing is to make them curious. You need to know or find out what is some pain points they're having. What are some things of interest or concerns to them? Now, this may be easy because you're talking to the director of the utilities, so you have some idea that things involving utilities are going to be an issue. If you don't know, if you've just gotten their name or something, talk to them. Ask them questions. How many of y'all like to just be talked to? Okay, either you're not answering or you're most of us don't like to we like to interact, right? So ask them, hey, I'm Trip Corbin, business manager or business development manager with Sam. We help municipalities solve spatial problems. So have you had any problems recently? Or I saw something on the news the other day where you had a big water main break downtown. Was that a concern for you? What'd you think about that? And they'll usually respond, yeah, that was just horrible. I mean, from what I heard, our crew spent hours trying to find the cutoff valve. Now I know a problem. Is that a spatial problem? Oh yeah, knowing where those cutoff valves is absolutely a spatial problem. Now I have a point that I can connect to this person to try to help explain something that I do that would be of benefit or interest to them, that they're going to want to talk about. Okay? So take the time to interact. I mean, I know this is a short time frame, but it doesn't mean you have to preach to them the whole time. Okay? Interact, build that personal relationship. One of my lessons I learned from my dad, who was a land surveyor and an engineer, so I learned a few things from him. Learned some other things I didn't like. But anyway, was you get work from your friends, so make lots of friends. And you can translate that out to not just work, but those building relationships. You're here at this conference to learn and build your network. These elevator pitches are great ways to break the ice and start building that network. In doing this stuff for over 20 years, folks think I'm a lot smarter than I am. And it's because of who I know. I know a lot of really smart people out there by having these types of conversations. So make sure you take the time to do that. I can get off on a whole tangent about that. The next part here is, how do you make them want to talk to you? Right? How do you make them want to talk? This we call setting the hook. And that's actually me up in Alaska salmon fishing. Okay? It's important to know how to set the hook, because I'm going to give you a little story. My father and uncle, we were up there. My dad and uncle have been going up there for 30 years salmon fishing. This was my first time getting to go up there. I never fly fished in my life. I get up there, and my dad and my uncle showed me everything about how to cast out there and shred the line. What they forgot to tell me was how to set that fracking hook. I lost 4 salmon because I did what I was used to with the normal rod, which was just let go of the line, pull this thing back. Well, there's enough play in the line, the fish got loose and flew off. So you got to make sure you know how to set the hook. I lost 4 good salmon. Could have brought home. My wife was not happy. She loves that stuff. Good, fresh Alaskan salmon, nothing like it. So how do you do that? How do you make them want to talk to you again? That first step, though, is make them curious. If they're interested in what you're telling them or talking to them about, they're going to want to talk more. The one thing you've got to do is make sure you know how to get back in touch with them. Don't put the onus on them to talk to you, because we're all busy. We all have a million things going on. said, I know I do. I spent from Saturday to yesterday, I was in California, and now I'm here. Next week, I got to go back on the road again, right? So make sure you talk to them. How can I get in touch with you? If this is of interest, how can I get back to you? Would you like me to send you an email? Maybe we can set up a meeting. Would you like me to give you a phone call? Get their contact. Do you have a business card? I know that's kind of archaic nowadays. I still carry them. One thing, they don't ever run out of battery power. You can always hand a piece of paper across the table there. So make sure you get their contact stuff and find out how they like to be contacted. Some people are phone people. They want a phone call. I've got a boss that I work for, Kirk, out of our Maryville office. If I shoot him an email, I'll be lucky if I ever get a response. I shoot him a text. Again, I'm lucky I pick up the phone and call him. He answers if he's not in a meeting, and we can talk. I've got my nephew who I call him, he'll never answer the phone. I shoot him a text, 5 seconds later, I'm getting a response. So make sure you know how to communicate with this person. What's the best way to establish that connection? And if you find one way's not working, try another way. And you may be thinking, well, Tripp, you're in sales, so this makes perfect sense for you. Why do I need, if I'm an analyst down in a local government, or a technician at an engineering firm, or whatever position happens to be? Well, a couple things. One, are you always going to be at that level? Hopefully you'll advance in your career and you'll find yourself higher up, and you will need to be able to have these skills. Also, your job, even if you're a technician or an analyst, is still to help grow what you do within that organization and validate the importance of what you do, because what you do is important. Whether you're digitizing parcels in, you're tracking annexations, whether you're doing emergency response analysis, whether you're looking at demographic data, whether you're building the digital twin, whatever it is, what you're doing is important. However, not everybody in your organization is going to understand that. This elevator pitch is an opportunity for you to help sell what you and your group is doing. And you know what that usually leads to? What happens when elected officials appreciate what you do for them if you're working in local government? When it comes budget time, and they understand what you do and the value it brings, what do you think that happens at budget time when you put in those budget requests? Are they immediately going to go, well, you don't need this training, no, you don't need this software, no, you don't need this sensor? No. They're going to go, oh yeah, I remember that great conversation I had in the stairway, because it doesn't have to happen in an elevator. It could be walking through the lobby. I remember that great young lady, Trish. She was telling about this stuff and the importance of that. Yeah, absolutely. Let's do that. Oh, I want to go to the NCGIS conference. Yeah, we won't do that. So this is important at all levels of your career. Don't think that just it's for me, a sales guy. Yeah, it's important for me. Absolutely. I'm not going to deny it. A lot of times I have that small window to try to just get my foot in the door before it gets slammed, because I'm a sales guy. I mean, no one likes it when the door-to-door guy knocks on, hey, do you want your roof inspected, or are you ready to put new windows and doors in your homes? I think we've all gotten those folks going door to door, right? But again, you want to make sure you set that hook, you get that contact information, and you find out how best to get back with them. So this is going to help you follow up, because you're not going to cover everything you do in a 2-3 minute window, right? Heck, I can barely spell GIS in a 2 or 3 minute window. So make sure you get that information and follow up. And that's key, follow up. Get back with them. Don't take no for an answer to a certain point. Don't be obnoxious about it. But again, keep in mind that everybody is busy. So here's kind of a sample elevator pitch that I put together. I'm not going to read it. Y'all can read it there. But this is kind of an idea. Now, keep in mind that this is assuming that you're interacting, that there may be breaks going on in this, and you're not going to just run this out as fast as you can to beat that 2 minute window. couple of pointers I wanted to put out there is make sure you know who you're talking to, find out what their pain points are, what might be of interest to them, and see that you can tailor that as you're going through this. Typically, you should have some basic canned stuff in your head already that you can mix and match on the fly, as it were, to talk to various people at different levels within organizations, at different knowledge levels, in order to have this ready. And practice this. This is not something that's going to come automatically to you. If you're not great at public speaking, you're not like me. I love getting in front of a crowd and running my mouth. This is fun. So practice. Practice makes perfect, right? But do keep in mind, change it up a little bit. And then one of the things I did want to bring up, how many of y'all have heard of ERISA? Okay, a goodly number of y'all. As I mentioned, I'm a past president of the international body. One of the greatest programs that we offer is the GIS Leadership Academy. I wish that this had been around when I first started my career. In this, it's a week-long education program that covers what is often referred to as soft skills. We talk about building an elevator pitch. You get a chance to build one and practice it. We talk about project management skills, staff development skills, budgeting skills, and so on. We've got the one here coming up in Charlotte this summer, June 12th to the 16th. Registration's open. If you can't make that one and you want to travel, we've got one out in Denver, another great location. I will be teaching the one at least part-time here in Charlotte. We have a lot of other instructors. All of us teaching this are leaders. We've run our own companies. We've managed our own staffs and departments. We've been there. We've done that, and we want to share that experience with y'all. So take the time, check it out. I've got some flyers over in the SAM booth as well as the Carolina ERISA booth next to us on that. And if you have questions, I'd be happy to answer those for you. So with that, I hope I got within time. I saw the 5-minute warning. I don't want to keep you too late. I know it's been a long day. I hear if somebody may have booked in the Embassy Suites, you may have to be moving to a new hotel because of water issues. Sorry about that. So any questions about an elevator pitch or the Leadership Academy or my Mustang? I don't care. Okay, well, thank you all very much. Hope you have a great conference, and I'll see y'all around. Thank you so much.